What's going on, AJ?
What's up, man?
Nothing, man. Just, trying to figure out how many Sour Patch Kids one person could eat in one day. How many do you think you could eat?
Probably a lot. Why? Is there like something where like if you eat too many, you collapse or something?
No, but it definitely tears up your mouth. Like, you wake up with like sores and you're like,
I was gonna say, does it give you like sores in your mouth?
What herpes is like? Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, because I told you I
like Sour Patch Kids.
I did too until I was like, oh, my two favorite flavors. I'm gonna buy a bag of each, and then it was like 5 pounds bag of each.
5 pounds.
And then the next day, another box showed up with the exact same order. So I inexplicably have 20 pounds of Sour Patch Kids in my apartment. And I can't get through them fast enough. It's crazy. Oh, man.
Send me some.
What's that? Send you some?
Yeah, I'll help you out.
I'll just bring them to the meetup. They'll still be good in 10 months, right? 9
what
months.
Meetup, you say?
Oh, meetup. Well, maybe we should start the show and we can talk all about it.
Sounds good. Let's go.
This is PSVR GAMESCAST Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wise Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live for your viewing pleasure, 6 p.m. Eastern. Do it live right here on YouTube. Also, after the fact, our good friend Jay Meow puts us up on podcast services of your choice. Yes, that includes Spotify and all sorts of other podcast services I am not familiar with in the slightest. I should probably have a list here or something. Maybe people in the chat. If there's people in the chat who listen to podcasts on anything other than Spotify, let me know. You could lie and make up a podcast service. I would never know because the names of some of these are silly. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And this gentleman over here, half green screened, it's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. And I know that Mondays usually suck, but we are here, Brian, to ensure their Monday sucks. Just a little bit less.
That's right. I mean, we fucking give it a shot every Monday. We don't always succeed. I'm sure some people.
Promises.
Sure, there's some Mondays where people walked away and said, "I don't know."
You need to bring back the disclaimers. Like you would always do the intro, and then you'd be like, "Disclaimer: Without Parole is a solo operating party, and not is its own LLC, and the views and ideas represented here do not represent that of I don't know, whatever. It's whatever can get us sued."
As somebody with zero long or short-term memory, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? But then I was like, wait, for like a month or something, I did put it was like supposed to be funny, and I have no idea why I did that or what happened to it. I don't know.
But you just need to like record a disclaimer and then like speed it up like 8 times and then just like play it real quick. Oh,
yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. If you're not here live, we understand. You have things to do. You have VR games to play. You have lives, full-fledged lives. And that's why we're so happy that Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry puts timestamps into this thing after the fact to make your life easier and to make your viewing experience more pleasurable. AJ, before we really get the ball rolling here, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I just want to say real quick, if you're not already a member of our Discord, you should join us. And that's, I don't benefit at all from that. It's just a cool place for everyone to hang out. It's a great space for the community. But there's a few things going on over on our Discord that make it super imperative that you guys join, especially if you're like a big member of this community. And the first thing is that we're trying, the mods, Rody, me, everyone involved is trying to get this 2024 in-person Gamecat Meetup kind of scheduled and figured out. And so what Rody did to get the ball rolling on that was this morning he posted a bunch of hotels, like I think it's like 13 hotels or something like that, that are all nearby within a couple miles of the Boston Convention Center in the Seaport District, where where PAX East is taking place March 21st through 24th next year. So if you guys are thinking about coming to the in-person Gamecat Meetup. Obviously, a big part of that is going to be, hey, we're just getting PAX East tickets for the weekend, or some people are just going to go for a couple days because, it's expensive. And of course, the hotels are going to be a big part of that. So figure out who you're going to be staying with. Some people want to split rooms like 6 ways just to save on money. And so we're going to be figuring this out, but this is the first day that we're really getting the ball rolling on that. So just keep that in mind. The sooner you get tickets, the sooner you get airfare, the sooner you get hotel rooms. Tickets for PAX East aren't even on sale yet. But the sooner you kind of arrange this, the cheaper it's going to be. So just letting you know. That's why we're trying to figure it out this early. AJ, you coming to the meetup next year?
Gamecat Meetup, baby, 2024. I don't know. Yes, I am. I probably am. Yeah, dude, the last time we did a Gamecat Meetup was 2019.
Go
that was
fuck
like the
yourself.
Inaugural one. And
that's not even a real year.
Things happened, and so we pushed it off for a long time. And yeah, man, it was such an amazing time the first time. Yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can to be there, absolutely. And it was just so much fun. And getting to go to PAX East, hopefully there's some PSVR2 stuff happening there where we actually get to play some like previews of some games and stuff. March next year, man, that's going to be a pretty... I would imagine a pretty interesting time for PSVR 2, with most consoles and everything. A year or 2 years in is like when things really start to get going. So I think around that time, there'll definitely be some things to look forward to. And hopefully we get to get our hands on and hang out, drink a couple beers, shoot the shit with the cats.
I'm going to drink some coffees, but I'm more than happy to go out. And I mean, I think it's just the whole weekend is just going to be like, Gamecat Central. I feel like we're going to be getting up and meeting up for coffee, and then, eventually making our way over to the convention center. I've been to PAX East many times, and I mean, the thing is yes, you can wander the floor and stand in line for all these different games, VR games, flat screen games, whatever. And a lot of it is standing in line, waiting around, but there's also stuff you can buy. There's retro game shops that are set up there, all sorts of crazy shit. There's places to play board games around the convention center. There are tables and chairs set up so that if you get tired of walking around, we all bring our Nintendo Switches or whatever. So you can all like sit around and play Mario Kart together. And then, of course, after the fact, I'm sure we're all going to be going out to eat, hitting up bars. I don't drink anymore, but I'm more than happy to go be social with you guys. And we're actually trying to get a few things planned for like special events in terms of like, after hours type things that, but I'll sirens on my end. We'll reveal more about that as we get closer to it. Moving on. Just want to let everybody know that next Sunday, and obviously we're very far away from it. We're almost as far away from it as we can be. Next Sunday's game multiplayer meetup will be another D-Day enhanced beta test. If you missed out on the last one, let us know. Again, come join our Discord. Hit up some of our mods. If you don't have keys yet, but a lot of you should already have keys. The beta will be reopened. So that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern. If you didn't get to play last time, it was a blast. It was absolutely ridiculous seeing just so many players, 64 players on the battlefield all at once. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, just the proof of concept alone was a sight to behold. I know Strange Games has a lot of influence from like Resistance 2 back in the day, where it had like that 64 player multiplayer. I want to say, there was like Resistance, Mag. There was like a couple years span of just like some insane multiplayer count games that were a lot of fun. And just having that many people, it felt like you're on a battlefield because of just that many people.
Yeah. Yep. So this is it's quite the experience, and obviously Reggie and his team are trying to like patch up some of the issues we found the last time around, and this should be a really cool experience. So yeah, make sure you get in on that. We'll be reminding you all week, and it'll be great. Ike in the chat with the $2 tip says thoughts on the Beat Saber hotfix. I haven't played Beat Saber since the hotfix, but everyone told me that the Sabers now have offset options, so you can angle them however you want to. But I did hear that some people are still having problems with frame rate issues on certain tracks. Have you played since the hotfix, AJ?
Not since the hotfix. I've played a bunch before it, and I was having a good time with it. But yeah, I am glad that there's an option now for those who, like I said, it's like for me, the angle wasn't bothering me. Especially like, Beat Saber uses a lot of wrist control. At least once you get, once you practice it a bunch, I think it kind of trains you to use your wrists a lot. And I thought the placement of it was fine. But like I said before, whatever feels comfortable to you is like comfortable to you. So I'm glad that there's an option for people to try it. So no, I need to check that out and then give you guys an update when possible.
Yeah, I was actually, I figured since it was a hot fix, not like a full patch, I figured it was just going to like make the Sabers one-to-one with the controllers. But apparently, yeah, they've given you lots of options to kind of angle it the way that you want to. So I'm really happy to hear that. But when I checked out Beat Saber when it first dropped, I felt that addiction creeping back in that I hadn't felt in a long time. The new Queen pack was really good, and I was going back and playing some old songs that I really hadn't touched in a very long time. And I was like, oh man, I feel it again, and I haven't cared about Beat Saber in a little while, so I'm excited to get back into it. It's
great to have it back, man. It really is.
Yeah. So AJ, it's Monday. As we like to do on Monday, I like to thank all the cats who help us out in all sorts of different ways. But every Monday, we like to thank a very specific group of cats, don't we?
That's right, Brian. On Mondays, we like to thank those who support us in another way by changing their name to something Gamecat, something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week, we have 3 new Gamecats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Starting with Airwick, the wicked Gamecat of the North.
I did not set these up ahead of time. Hold on a second. Hold on. Bing!
I was okay. Yeah. I was waiting for it. I was like, did the kung fu noises cue on time? And I was like, oh, okay. And then of course it was this that did.
There's always something, AJ. It's like,
I knew there'd be something. It's one or the other.
It really, really is. Okay. Who's our second one?
We've also got Serial Killer, the equality among all Gamecat.
Bing! Equality among all Gamecat. Did he run out of characters? Why is that worded so phrased so oddly? Worded so phrasely.
Okay.
I don't know.
This one's going to be a tough one. Let's try this out. We've finally got Hippocamus Pickleicus Gamecatosaurus.
Bing! I'm so fucking glad I didn't have to say that.
Pickleicus.
Hippocamus.
There's like a CKC. Picklicious.
Yeah, it's
pickle.
There's a missing vowel between pick and lick. Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
I got close.
Yeah. Guys, if you don't know, the Gamecats are the loyal following of Without Parole. If you want to show your support, you can do it without giving us single pennies by changing your name to Gamecat either on Google or on YouTube, so that when you leave comments, you're officially a Gamecat. Put Gamecat in your name somewhere, and then leave a comment with hashtag Gamecat in it so that we can find you and give you a shout out on next week's show. I feel like I used to have a feel for that was like way more fluid. Getting old, AJ. Getting old.
The chat is still talking about how I mentioned Beat Saber is all about wrist movements. Oh, never change. I love you guys.
I mean, some people.
It's very important to have good wrist technique while you're playing Beat Saber.
Some people beat their pickle and some people beat their saber. Some people beat their monkey. Just don't beat your wives. Super Elastic Bubble Plastic Gamecat with the $5 tip says VR wars have begun. No more Cialis ads. Oh, Cialis ads. I was like, what the fuck? During Brian's YouTube PSVR2 post. Now it's Quest gets me just as excited. Anything to push VR. Oh, good. So no more Cialis ads. Quest ads. Damn. I don't
so much better. No, just kidding. It is better.
You know what? Whatever pays the bills, man. Whatever pays the bills.
Yeah, it's funny though that the like I said, man, Quest is really good about marketing. We haven't even talked about that yet. I haven't talked about it with you. I talked about it on last Thursday. But
AJ, what could you possibly be talking about? What's Thursday?
Oh, it would be interactive chat. It's also known as what you dubbed GAMESCAST without Brian.
Which, as we know, makes it infinitely better. So,
No.
we finally ditched
But,
the part of Gamescast that just wasn't working.
But anyways,
this is over on AJ's channel, by the way. The link is in the description below. PSVR Underground. Make sure you go subscribe to him. If you don't, I know where you live.
Appreciate the support, man. Yeah, no, you know, what was he talking about? I forgot. I got lost now. He's talking about VR Wars. Oh yeah, Quest. I was just saying that, you know, Quest and Meta, they do a really good job with marketing. And as we'll talk again today about Apple, you know, there's a certain type of presentation that have been delivered that I think are nice, just a nice old fashioned traditional presentation that it felt good to see.
Agreed.
I totally forgot what we were talking about, but I just winged it.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, we just had the Meta showcase, the Sony showcase we had prior to that. This week we have the Summer Game Fest that's happening. I've got my dates all screwy in my head. I think the Summer Game Fest is Thursday, and then Games Radar's Future Game Show is on Saturday, and then like the Ubisoft conference is soon too. Yeah. They're going to be showing Assassin's Creed VR.
It's summertime, man. This is why, you know, all this stuff is every summer. We expect lots of game announcements, lots of things to be happening, and yeah, it's like E3 is gone, but people are still trying to use this time to promote and stuff, and I think it's a great thing. I think it helps fill the void of the big event where the entire industry would get together and celebrate. It's kind of like, yeah, now everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, and it's scattered, and you know, it ranges a bunch, but it's whatever. It's better than nothing. At least there's like something, you know, I still expect a bunch of cool announcements over this summer. Just it could come from anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing will ever replace E3 for me. E3 was dead long before E3 stopped being a thing. I think the second that Sony pulled out of it, it was over. That was the highlight for me. That was special. There was this healthy competition going on. Whereas, you know, Microsoft would go and Ubisoft would go and EA would go and whoever the fuck else would go. And then Sony would just generally be last. And it was, at least from the big three, they'd always go last. And it was the highlight of the show. It was just like where I just kind of miss when everybody held their secrets back. And then like all year long, you were like, what the hell's going on? And then it was just like this flood of like new game announcements and previews and trailers and teasers and new IPs and sequels to games that you love. It was just like this magical moment, and I don't know if we're ever going to get that back. And I'm wondering how this is affecting the industry and what, you know, the big console manufacturers think of it and what the game developers think of it. If these, like, all these little announcements are getting lost. Just because they're happening at random times, random intervals, and you don't have millions of eyes on you anymore during, you know, for these smaller developers. Sometimes they got real lucky and like had millions of eyes on them because it was part of a bigger show. And that's just not happening anymore. And I'm really wondering what the effects of that are. I don't know.
I don't think it's a huge effect. I mean, there's stuff that's replaced it, right? There was the Sony showcase recently, which, you know, a lot of smaller developers got to show their games. A lot of random developers got to show their stuff. There was the Meta showcase. Then there's stuff like the Jeff Keighley events that get millions of views. So, like I said, E3 is gone. Yes, it was special when it was at its best, but there's definitely like replacements. There's been several things that have replaced the viewership and the excitement. And I think overall that kind of thing is important because when people are excited about video games and the more excited they are, the more people play video games and want to play video games and buy stuff and have a good time. And so, yeah, I think it is important to have that buildup of excitement and to have a reason to be excited about video games. I think it brings a lot more people in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Looper the Underground Gamecat with the €2. He says, it seemed like I was deciphering a code when I was reading this. He says 8, meaning I'm believing June 8th, Summer Games Fest. June 10th is Future Game Show. June 12th is the Ubisoft Connect. Is that what it's still called? And then the 14th is the Upload VR Showcase.
I think Ubisoft Forward.
Okay. There's something Connect. Is that Facebook Connect? I don't fucking know. It's all the same.
I think so.
I'm oddly looking forward to the Upload VR Showcase because I believe that's sponsored by Endreams. So hopefully we'll see more Synapse. Hopefully we'll see more Ghostbusters. We're getting to this point where once upon a time, AJ, the last, 3 years of PSVR, and even like some of the early years of PSVR, new games would be revealed and like just never get announced for PSVR, or PSVR would get announced and get canceled or whatever. And now we've got a headset where there's no excuse. It's the new hotness, as the kids say, AJ. PSVR2 is where most developers want their games to be. Doesn't quite have the biggest market yet, but it's getting there. And if you don't have your game on PSVR2, it's ridiculous. So we're getting to this point where any VR game that gets announced, you're like, I bet that's coming to PSVR2. And so this Upload VR Showcase is probably going to be one of the better ones because anything they show will likely be coming our way.
We'll see.
We'll see. Don,
I will reserve judgment.
Don Ken with the 3.50 Chieftain says, add 2 zeros and you have the Apple Vision Pro. Definitely very expensive. We will get to that momentarily. And then one more tip, and that is Gamecat Chicago with the $5 tip says, nothing can replace E3 hype. Nothing can truly replace E3 hype, though. That was a special kind of annual excitement. It was, man. It was my holiday. I mean, 100%.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I heard you talking recently about the E3 of dreams, where it was like Final Fantasy VII announced, The Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, and like it was, dude, it just tore the house down. Like it was crazy, man. It was but there were several other E3s that were really cool too, that were really good, and yeah, it was excellent times. I do kind of miss that format a lot, of like going on stage talking about this was a success, this is our plans for the future, this is what's going to kick ass. And yeah, I do miss that whole presentation style thing. Now everything's just like it's just become a state of play, for lack of a better word, and just we've got short state of plays and a long state of plays now, and it's just just throw everything in there. It's like a goulash of games.
Yeah. I was trying to bring up something from the PlayStation Experience. Remember the PlayStation Experience that they did for a couple of years? That was amazing.
Yeah, the last one wasn't very good either, though.
Yeah.
Like the first one they did was great because it just felt like a continuation of E3. The next one they did was Flute Guy.
Oh boy!
It wasn't great. It wasn't. It was not good.
All right, man. Well, luckily we did get a couple good pieces of PlayStation VR 2 news today. Usually Monday's a little bit on the slower side, but it was really, really good to see that everybody over in Kuvo is talking about Green Hell VR, and obviously Green Hell VR has been a game that's been was announced for PlayStation VR 2 quite a while back, and when it got announced quite a while back, they said. They said Q3 2023, and so here we are, a month away from the beginning of Q3, and here it is, man. It's available to wishlist on the PlayStation Store. Excited, AJ?
I love it. I'm very excited, actually. I'm really, really looking forward to this game. I love survival games in VR, and this honestly looks like possibly the best VR survival game coming right now. So that exists right now. So I'm really excited about this. And it's nice seeing it on the PlayStation Store as well. And I noticed Undead Citadel pop back up there. So I wonder if this is a sign that these are just right around the corner.
Yeah, you would hope so. At least within the next month or two. Because, I mean, these are absolutely the kind of games we're looking for, and I think Green Hell looks beautiful. Every time they post a screenshot over on Twitter, I'm just kind of blown away, being like, man, I can't wait to see this inside the headset. Can't wait to see how sharp it is, how fast, what the refresh rate's like, just kind of those technical things that we're sort of looking for these days. But I mean, as far as the trailers go, as far as the screenshots go, it looks beautiful, and I've heard nothing but good things. So good stuff.
Yeah, man. I love that it has a story. I love that it has like just a pure survival mode. It looks like graphically, it looks really nice, and it'll be interesting to see, how much people are into it, because I know survival is something that people are not. The more casual audience isn't like into the super survival stuff yet, because I don't know why, but. Oh, and then of course they said that there's going to be multiplayer. So that's a pretty big game changer, in my opinion. If people are not into intense survival by themselves, well, I think multiplayer is a huge game changer for that, because now you get to just like fuck around with your friends and die and have fun and laugh at each other and stuff.
Yeah, multiplayer, and I believe 3 chapters of DLC were all announced recently. It'll be interesting to see if this all manages to come out and be part of the PlayStation VR2 launch. I think that would be perfect. I'd actually tell them, like, wait a month or two and make sure that, like, it is part of the PSVR2 launch. Like, how it's always nice to come back to a game after it's been improved, but man, just getting kind of like the complete edition at launch, I think would be just chef's kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what people do?
And that it's not blurry.
People don't do that. Dude, if it's blurry, I'm just fucking done, okay?
I don't think it will be. Yeah. I don't think it will. And Kubo's been, man, they've been on it. Like, Blair Witch was pretty good.
Yeah, shocking.
I know Layers of Fear was crap. Or at least I thought it was crap. But but Blair Witch was very high quality. And so I'm hoping of that caliber. They're also the ones that are helping with Bulletstorm VR.
Yeah.
So they're busy, man. I mentioned this on Interactive Chat as well. I don't know if you remember or not, but we talked about years ago when, like, in Kubo, I think it was like in Kubo was purchased by People Can Fly, or People Can Fly were purchased by Inkubo, and we were like, wouldn't that be crazy if they made Bulletstorm? No, they're not going to make Bulletstorm. And surely enough, years later, here we are.
I have zero recollection of that conversation.
I got you, man. It's all right. I'll store your memories for you.
The good thing is that no one's going to fact check us on that, and so we can basically say, we predicted all of this stuff.
I said in fact on that episode, I said in 2023 in the summertime they're going to be doing this, and I said, Brian, 5 pizzas, and you said, okay, I'll bet you 5 pizzas. So you owe me 5 pizzas now.
Oh man!
And I said the chat too. So the chat owes me 5 pizzas.
I'm gonna have to do some fact checking.
Good luck finding it.
I don't know if I trust you. There was also an Undead Citadel trailer that got released too, which is again really nice. As we've been talking about quite extensively on this show, they were trying to get this out for the PSVR2 launch. They did not succeed. They called it a missed opportunity, and they kind of said, we're going to go focus on the Steam version and make sure that's set for launch. We'll circle back around to the PSVR2 version, and then here we are. It showed up on the PlayStation Store, and now the Steam version is either out or coming out very, very shortly. Then it's time to give that PSVR2 version the month or two more that it needs to get brought up to speed. And we're going to have this game that we've been waiting 4 years for, AJ. It's finally here. And if you have seen this trailer, some of it is definitely from the Horde mode. Some of it's definitely from the Horde mode that that was available for the Steam VR Fest or whatever it was, which was fun. But you can definitely tell that some of these gameplay clips are from the campaign. There's one in the graveyard. There's one you can just kind of tell, like, whenever you're sort of this more exploratory fashion when enemies aren't around. Absolutely from the campaign. And I just think it looks like everything I want.
Is there new footage of this though? Because I know they released a new video. I kind of skimmed through it and I saw footage that I've seen like for 4 years, and I was like, this looks like the same footage, the same Horde mode. Is there in this new video? Is there actual new footage of the campaign stuff?
Lots of new footage. Actually, even a lot of the horde mode footage is new. A lot of the combat footage is new. It looks similar because of where it is in the enemies.
I'm not really interested in the horde mode, but the good news is, Brian, I went over to the PlayStation Store and I looked at the description and I was like, and they actually do specify about the story mode and about the horde mode.
10 levels.
And they say that there's like up to 10 level, over 10 levels and stuff. That is what I'm most curious about and most excited about with this. Horde modes are fine or whatever. They're not a game to me, really. They're not an entire game. I think Swordsman, Hellsplit Arena, things like that are good comparisons. It's like a lot of people like these kind of arena fighters or whatever, where you just mess around, you beat up skeletons and play with physics. But it's like, I'm very much like just a single player campaign structure kind of person. And, that's really exciting to see that that's going to be a part of this. I hope it's really good because we've been waiting a very long time for this.
Yeah. I think the description on the PlayStation Store is the same one that's been sort of floating around on Steam for the better part of a year or two, which sort of helped us come to terms with like what the game was all about to begin with. But yeah, they're talking about like puzzles and finding items and everything else. So it's not just.
I'll take it.
It's not just a horde mode, or an adventure mode disguised as a horde mode disguised in this adventure mode. It does seem like there's actual like environmental interactions and stuff. So we'll see. There's a million different ways that this could go horribly wrong, but at least from what I played in the horde mode on the Steam demo, it felt good to play, and if they can make a good adventure out of it, then I will be there day one, obviously.
One of my more anticipated games for sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think that goes for a lot of people. I think that if this game sucks, they're going to let a lot of people down. The first teaser for this game came out 4 years ago, the first teaser trailer, which means, I don't know how long the game was in development for before that teaser trailer, but, so this could be easily been in development for 5 years, which is just, kind of crazy for not, for big AAA titles tend to be in development that long. But this is obviously a smaller team, and we know that some great games took that long to make. The one that always comes to mind is Zing, The Land Beyond. 6 years, AJ, with 3 people at the helm. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing game. Wish it would get remastered.
Oh, absolutely. Like, what the hell are those guys doing? I messaged them and I never heard back. So what they're doing is ignoring me, which I don't blame them. And then I woke up this morning around 4 a.m. and saw that PlayStation had posted a new trailer on their YouTube channel.
I woke up too, and I saw the notification. I'm like, what? Really? Why are you posting this at 4 a.m? I woke up to that too. I think my light came on and woke me up or something. I don't know, or it was just coincidence. But I'm like, what are they doing posting a trailer at 4 a.m? Like, I don't know. Funny, but nonetheless, exciting stuff. Brian, go ahead. Sorry.
No. You know what? I was all ready to talk about this, and then I realized I don't even have the trailer. So let me just download this real quick so we can be showing it while we're talking about it. Okay, that's gonna be ready any second. So yeah, man. The big reveal, of course. I think correct me if I'm wrong, man. I feel like my brain has just completely gone to hell. I know that on a PSVR this week, just mere weeks ago, I revealed this game, showed screenshots. And that was it. Had we gotten a full trailer since then? Or is this the first time we've actually seen gameplay?
So there was kind of like an announcement of it. I think it was a teaser, though. I think it was a teaser with some screenshots. I don't think this is, I believe, as far as I remember, this was the first actual gameplay. And they gave us a lot of gameplay footage to see here, actually.
Yeah. I love how they start with the old arcade version, and it's like the light, the flashing light from the light gun, because that's how the game would know if you hit the enemy or not, from these, like, the way that the light gun reacted with the screen with flashing lights. What a mess, man! What a mess! It's crazy that we used to play light gun games like that. But this looks good. This looks good. I love rail shooters, and we don't have that many of them. This is.
I love this trailer, by the way.
Yeah?
This trailer was so funny. Like, so good.
The kittens are adorable.
Yeah, it's like now we break to some kittens.
Right.
For you to relax for a second. But I love the tone of the trailer. And dude, I don't know about you, but I played a lot of Operation Wolf back in the day, and I was a big fan of it. It was really hard for me, but I still loved it. And yeah, you know, rail shooters, I'm kind of hit or miss on these days. Like, rail shooters are legitimately the reason I got into VR with Rush of Blood. But then, like, I've been introduced to so much more, it's kind of hard to get the same excitement about them. That being said, we've had something similar with Operation Warcade.
Right.
And, you know, besides it being extremely unpolished, it was actually kind of fun. And looking at this footage, man, like, I don't know. It looks like it could be fun. And so I will definitely give it a chance. And I hope it's really good, because I like this IP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about Operation Wolf as far as an IP goes. Like, it was fun back in the day. It was never one of my favorites, but I love rail shooters.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we keep asking for things like House of the Dead or other games that are eluding my memory at the moment. Vampire Knight, anything like Time Crisis, anything that Namco made that supported the GunCon 2. I will take all of the Gun Survivor games from Capcom. Thank you very much. Virtua Cop. I don't care, man. Like, I want them all. And so this just happens to be sort of bottom of the list for me. But if this is, you know, if this is successful, maybe it means we'll be able to get a few more of the games that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's only like 6 levels or something. So I'm hoping it is just a nice little cheap package. And, you know, you play through it, you get a little bit of arcade fun and move on. And yeah, it could be good.
Yeah, rail shooters don't exactly have to be terribly deep. They're just good for a short burst of action, and then, you know, plenty of other games to play if you want something that's longer, deeper, more satisfying. AJ, what are we talking about?
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. Perfect. All right, man. Big news of the day. The Apple WWDC happened. Worldwide Developers Conference, unless I got that wrong. This is for 4 years, AJ. People have been we've been hearing about rumors of an Apple VR headset. I feel like it's been 4 years. And
feels like it for sure.
Yeah, and so, you know, but obviously the rumors were stronger than ever. Everything pointed to saying, okay, they're absolutely going to reveal this thing this time around. And we had a lot of people hanging out on Discord voice chat while this was happening, and we watched the entire conference, man. Like, the entire, it's their yearly thing. It's like, oh, look, it's a bet. Here's a thing that we've been selling you for years, and now here's the better version of it, and now here's something else. Oh, look, here's a thinner version of it, and it very much. You could feel a weird energy, because I think while watching it, you can sort of put yourself in the shoes of like the average consumer, and say, for some people, this is just what they watch, what they look forward to find out like what the new hotness is as far as technology goes, and we went through the entire thing. There were some bits of it were somewhat interesting. But then the last 30 minutes, the last 40 minutes were all dedicated to the Apple Vision Pro. And this is when they revealed their new headset, their first headset. And I mean, did you get a chance to check this thing out?
I did, man. I watched it so that I at least kind of know what we were talking about today. Mm-hmm. And I love it, man. Like, I love that I don't necessarily love the product itself. I just love that this technology is, you know, more companies are starting to buy into this and do this. Now, this is a little bit different because the sense I had from this is a little bit different. They're trying to me, it's more AR than it is VR, which is like augmented reality versus virtual reality. Mm-hmm. Some people, like, some developers and stuff will want to jump down my throat for saying there's a difference between AR and VR. I don't really care, but I think at least from a marketing standpoint that they are different. Even if, but yeah, man. I mean, the big takeaway here for me is that like I said earlier, just like with the Meta showcase and stuff, is that I think competition is really good. I think in order for VR to thrive, there needs to be a competitive market for it. If Sony was the only one out there, or if just Meta is the only one out there, then it's not a healthy thing to do for a extended amount of time. So I'm glad that there's different companies investing and trying and experimenting with new things. And their approach is, okay, you remember how first we had computers, then we had mobile phones. Now we have this sleek little visor that you can wear. And it has a lot of features that I think are pretty cool. Nothing for me personally that I'm super interested in and would want to invest in, but it's like, oh, these are little things here and there that I'm picking up on that, hey, like I would like to see these as a side feature or a small part of whenever you get one of these devices. I think every one of these devices should have some of these features. And I think it's good for innovation, and I love innovation.
Yeah, I think we should be absolutely very clear here and say that before this event, all the rumors had sort of pointed to Apple making a VR headset, and that's not what this is. This is an augmented reality headset. This is, you put it on, and it's all about pass through. It's all about expanding your vision to allow you to have your desktop in front of you, to have your pictures in front of you. It's basically having like a giant tablet and being able to. I couldn't shake the feeling that it was a Quest Pro, but like done competently, right? Yeah. Like it's a very competent Quest Pro that just doesn't play VR games. It's definitely meant for the professional, I think, more than anybody else. I don't see this, especially with the price tag that they revealed being $3,500. That's the starting price. So there's obviously, right? Like I had guessed $3,000, and I thought that was way off. I thought that was way too much money. But
well, that's the weird thing, right? Like, I mean, I don't really like, I can understand why it would cost that much if all that technology, it's really high end tech, and it's all, the spatial computing, it's got its own operating system, its own whatever. Like, yes, I can understand, but to me, this is stuff that it only makes Sony and Meta look better in this regard, especially considering theirs, of the three, are the more mainstream friendly devices and for mainstream uses like gaming.
Right. And you can absolutely play games on this. They made it very clear that you can use all of the apps that you've got on your tablet, on your phone. And so but what you're doing, and I think this confused a lot of people, that this isn't VR gaming. This is literally, you put up a virtual screen in your augmented reality play space, and then you can grab a PlayStation 5 controller or whatever else, and you can play a game, but it's just a flat screen game. The most VR thing I saw was that this thing allows you to take short videos or photographs that are actually 3D. That when you view them with this headset on, are actually 3D, right, in the same way. Yeah. So, which is pretty cool. This is very much, I think, setting the groundwork for something that, when the price comes down and when the technology gets better, a lot of people will want in their house. Like, a lot of people want in their home, when it's something that you can just like throw on, and it's like, this looks super lightweight. But I still don't think we're quite there, for something that we're just like, oh, I'm gonna get some work done, and then you throw on a visor. Like, no, you're not gonna work. You're not gonna go work for 8 hours with this thing on your face, especially since I don't know if you caught this, AJ, but somehow Apple managed to create a headset that not only has a wire, but also has a 2-hour battery life. It's like the worst of both worlds. Like, you're gonna piss off everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's like what I said. This is what makes it interesting, is the different headsets. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy into this. I could be wrong. I don't see how this is more convenient than, it doesn't necessarily have the convenience of some of these things, and it doesn't have the like really like, do you want to use a virtual keyboard or watch movies? I mean, it's like these should be, again, all these things kind of feel like small features that should be in a gaming device. But they've got this one now that's super expensive. No, I don't see it taking off at $3,500. And then you've got Meta, who's got the balance of, well, it's not the most powerful, but it's slightly cheaper and it's wireless, short battery life. And then you've got the PlayStation, which is $50 more. And I'm talking about the Quest 3. Now you've got the PlayStation, which is, $50 more. It's wired, but it's designed to just do one thing. It doesn't have like, all these nice features, these bells and whistles, but it is just designed to play games and play like, high end games. So, I think definitely those two are going to be the most appealing to people, especially at a competitive price like that.
For sure. And honestly, I mean, maybe this will sell, maybe this won't. I don't think that's the point. What Apple's doing, I think, right now is laying the groundwork and making sure that they're the first in this field to be doing something like this. What I really enjoyed was over on Endream's website, they actually posted a reaction to this announcement, talking about Apple and the future of VR, etc. And they posted this graph that I'm going to pull up on the screen right here that actually shows the sales of each.
Apparently, the stream just got suspended for violation or something.
Oh,
because of Apple.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That's crazy. I mean, do you think people would want to?
Can people still hear us or no?
No video or sound. Huh.
Well then.
Well. All right. Well, that was interesting. Here, let's just get this thing back up and running. Hopefully, everybody.
Brian, what they say, it ain't out about how hard you get hit by copyright strikes. It's about how hard you get hit by copyright strikes. Keep going.
I'm very, very curious, man, because obviously this is like the talk of the day. That 10-minute video clip that I was showing was like the promo piece. That wasn't even like the 40-minute segment from the conference. So if that 10-minute video clip is copyrighted and they're going to be shutting down anybody who streams or uses that, like that's the piece, that's the video that people are going to want to show when they talk about this. So I'm actually very curious to see how many people are going to have their stream shut down today and over the next week, which is fucking craziness.
Probably a lot of people.
So we were trying to be real nice, but now I'm just going to say fuck you, Apple, because your headset's a piece of shit. It's too expensive.
Yeah, go fuck you and your stupid ass $3,500 piece of shit that nobody's going to use.
That you can't even play VR games on. Doesn't even have its own controllers.
Good job creating something.
I pinch nipples,
I can play
AJ.
Flat screen in VR, Brian.
I'm gonna play video games by pinching your non-existent nipples. Look, this is how I'm gonna play. I'm gonna sit on my couch and people are gonna think I'm weird.
But you get to record your now you get to FaceTime in VR, Brian. Isn't that exciting? You can FaceTime, Brian.
No,
you can't do that anywhere else.
No, it's all terrible. It's all terrible. I just again, I don't understand the audience for it. Here's, and joking aside, actually, shout out to Nihilus Ryan, the game feline with the $5 tip, says Brian's bail money tip train. Let's go. Yeah, right. I mean,
break us out, guys.
The next sirens you hear might be for me. So, but okay. But all joking aside, I've got to give it to Apple, man. Like they did this press conference today. And 40 minutes of it was devoted to the Vision Pro, right? Here's a company that focuses.
What the fuck else anyone cares about? Nobody cares about anything else.
But here's a company that's so focused on phones. It's so focused on laptops. It's so focused on whatever, right? Focus on all these different things that you have in your house, and then and then they devote this huge amount of time to their new headset, where. Then you look at Sony, who, already had a whole generation of VR. Everyone was looking to them to be like the market leaders, like the people who were going to push VR forward this whole next generation. And we never even got a proper PSVR2 launch event or even a proper PSVR2 reveal like this, We never really got that. We got a bunch of blog posts, and we got some lady unboxing a PSVR2 headset on launch day, and then more blog posts. That's all we ever got. And like, so, and I really do feel like that Meta and Apple are showing Sony what's up and be like, if you fucking care about this headset and you want people to buy it and you want to push this thing and you want to sell it, you got to fucking work for it, man. You can't just let, it's not just going to sell itself. You have to convince people. 40 minutes, AJ, of watching people wear this headset today on Apple's press conference. I think that sold a lot of people. But if they just put this out in stores for $3,500 and put out a news brief that said, hey, our new augmented reality headset is out, everyone go buy it, it wouldn't sell. They had to put time and money into this. And so I've got to applaud Apple. I've got to applaud Meta for doing what Sony's not doing. And that's proper marketing. As we watch a Resident Evil Village trailer.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I fully agree with that, because at the end of the day, the product, I think, is, kind of speaks a little bit for itself a little bit. Now, Meta, I do think Meta does a great job. I do think they do a great job, controlling the message, controlling the marketing, trying to find ways. They released a bunch of stuff. They announced a bunch of stuff last week, and these are smaller titles and stuff. None of them were really like AAA things, and I thought that they did a pretty good job, at least from my perspective as somebody who's a big PSVR guy. I thought they did a great job. I know, of course, there were some people that were criticizing some things and whatnot, but I thought it was great. This, I don't know. I mean, yes. So you're saying Sony's marketing is bad, Brian? I don't understand. I don't know what you mean.
We gave Sony the benefit of the doubt for the better part of a year, saying, well, I guess it wasn't the right time to talk about this.
Felt like 2 years,
right? But
3 years.
But I felt like we made a lot of excuses for Sony and said, well, in retrospect, it didn't make sense, and we were jumping the gun, and we kept wanting to do things before it made sense for Sony to do it. And looking at this, I'm like, yeah, this is the right way to do it, man. This is the right way to do it. You don't just fucking push something out in order for, and then let it fail, right? I've said it time and time again. I think PlayStation and PSVR are succeeding despite Sony, because I don't think Sony, especially the marketing team, I don't think Sony is really understands how to sell these things. I think that I
wasn't planning on having this conversation here. I wasn't expecting this, because I would have just said, let's have a whole conversation about this. Like, you go on,
but this brings it into the light, though, doesn't it? Like, sometimes you're like, you just kind of deal with what you've been dealt, and you just kind of like, eat the shit that you've been given. And then you do it for so long that you think, oh, well, this is just how things are done. And then you look outside of your bubble and you see other people that are doing it right. And it's really fucking frustrating that the headset that you want to play on, the people who are making the games that you want to play, don't really seem to care about the things that they're making and the things that you care about nearly as much as you do. And certainly not as much as their competitors do. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a vocal audience. There's a lot of fandom that comes along with it, and when companies market things a certain way, when they show you what you want to see, you are satisfied, you are happy. But at the end of the day, people are still going out and buying whatever they're going out and buying. Yes, there are certain things that can kind of build the excitement, build the hype, the conversation and make more of a positive conversation surrounding the thing. But at the end of the day, people are still going out and buying, FIFA and NFL, Madden and stuff. And there's no conversation around that. There's no internet positivity surrounding that, really. So yes, these things are good they're good. It's good from a marketing standpoint, but at the end of the day, like, they're selling tons and tons of PS5s. They're doing really well. And so they're not really being forced to where I want them yet. Like, I like when Sony gets their ass kicked, and they haven't been getting their ass kicked, and we've been suffering because of it. I definitely want to see them, and I think this is a good start. I think this is hopefully inspires them, but I just don't see them taking that risk yet. I don't, I think right now, especially they just don't seem like the same risk takers that they were, and they've kind of lost some of the innovation that made me, this is like what I know PlayStation for is their innovation. And it's like, no, they are not doing that. They're releasing nice products, but they are not like innovating. They're playing things very safe. I mean, when you look at the PSVR2 and, it does its job. It can play badass games. Other than that, what the fuck else does it do? It does not do anything else. Like all it can do, it has one goal, and luckily it does that goal. But there's no 3D home environment. There's no, movie theater apps. There's no virtual keyboard. Like I can't even click around on the keyboard and press, the thing. I got to use the joysticks.
Yep.
They've lost a lot of the creativity and innovation for sure. And the marketing. The marketing has always been, dude, the best marketing they've had. Okay. Aside from E3, it was maybe the first showcase that they had. The first PS5 showcase, there was something really special about that. I don't know what it was, but it was crazy. It was really good. None of the others have lived up to that first one. And, they show glimpses here and there, like the first state of play that showed PSVR 2. We had Resident Evil 4 announced. We had Saints and Sinners, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil Village. I thought that was good, but that unfortunately was like a one-off. But anyways, I kind of agree with you, man. I don't think it's having the sales impact that I think it deserves. I do think everyone is marketing 10 times better than Sony is, at least from a fan perspective.
Yeah. So one of the things that I started talking about, and probably long after the last stream got cut off, was a graph that End Dreams actually put up on their website, because End Dreams was talking about basically their reactions to this new headset and the future of VR. Here, I think this should still be right here. So here it is. What it does is it shows that new Apple technology tends to not sell crazy good, but it's like laying the groundwork for future iterations to sell crazy good, right? And I think that's sort of Apple's business model. You can see like the iPod 1 barely moved the needle, and neither did 2, and really the third one did neither, and then the fourth one fucking took off like crazy. And so I do think that Apple, in a sense, is really okay if this thing doesn't sell all that much, right? Because they're developing the technology, they're getting it out there in front of people, they're trying to show people that this is the way forward, that this is something that you're going to use eventually in your house all the time. You probably just have one laying around in different rooms, to pick up and throw on when you need it. And I think this is just the beginning of the Vision Pro. I think we're going to see many models of this, and it's going to get slimmer and sleeker, and obviously less expensive, which is going to be the real thing to move the needle. And I think it's eventually going to be a big deal. And strangely, AJ, the goofiest thing about this is that it's got the forward-facing screen, so that other people can see your face while you're in it. Now, that's not really your face, as they showed. Like, you have to scan your face, so that there's like a 3D model avatar that's representing you while you're in there. And so obviously very Ready Player One inspired, right? So it
looks straight out of the Ready Player One movie,
right? So it's that, right? It's that thing that suddenly makes VR more comfortable. So there's not somebody just like sitting on your sofa that like doesn't even know that at least it looks like you can see them, right? Like there's this perceived ability to
they messaged a lot of what they said in this presentation, if you notice, was very much about like, we don't want to disconnect you from, we don't want you to just put on the headset and disappear from everyone else and be antisocial. The whole thing that they're trying to build around this, which
when somebody sits down on the sofa next to the person, they actually enter the the vision of the person who's there. Like
Yeah,
it's
and then they can see your eyes through the thing as well. Again, these aren't like selling points to me, but it's like, okay, these are all little cool things I'd like to see eventually. Like I said, I like the tech that I've seen in this a lot. I like a lot of the tech and the features. I just don't really like the purpose of it, or don't really connect with the purpose of it. It's like, cool, it does this, but why? Why would you want to?
For gamers, it's pointless. I mean, for people who, the only games that you're going to play.
But I think for a lot of non-gamers, there's a lot of pointless stuff in there too. I mean, there's some cool tech in there to make you go, oh, wow. But there's also, it's like when it comes to, I guarantee you most people are going to rather use their tablet or their computer or their TV than use this thing. It does have some use that's cool, but they're not going to, I don't think the difference is when the smartphone came out, the smartphone was kind of like revolutionary, and this has like, I think this does some nice things tech wise, but I don't think this is like enough this isn't replacing a smartphone anytime soon. I don't think.
Not anytime soon. Absolutely not. The question I think is like, Apple never focuses on games, right? And so for it to be appealing to me is like they have to start focusing on games, and I think that this is not the model that's going to do that. I think when we get the slimmer model in 2 years, and even slimmer than that model, and they get more powerful, they get slimmer, they get more comfortable, they get less expensive. I think by version 3 or 4 of this, it will absolutely be able to play VR games, and that'll be a big selling point. So I think this is a great first step in the door for Apple, and I think this is going to be, big eventually. $3,500 price point, I think keeps a lot of people out of it. I'm very curious about it. I'd love to try one, but it's never going to be. It's for at least for now, it's not going to be something that I'm even remotely interested in purchasing.
Yeah, the price is going to keep a lot of people away for sure, but it's not really. I don't think it's also intended to be like, oh, this is supposed to be everybody goes out and buys one. Yeah. Like that's what the Quest and the PSVR 2 is a little bit more geared toward, considering what you get for the price. This is definitely like just an expensive piece of entertainment and cool technology that some people will probably enjoy. And like you said, it's kind of like the Quest Pro, but a little bit more competent.
Right. And the greatest thing is that with so many people who kind of see Apple as the way forward, as this is going to be the tech that that will lead us through life type thing. It's normalizing VR. Right, for anybody who thought VR was a fad or VR was just a gimmick, when Apple creates something and then sells it to millions upon millions of people, it legitimizes it for the world. And so I do think that when some people go, "Oh, what is this Apple product? What is this $3,500 device? What can it do? Blah 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 blah. Oh, it can't play VR games. Well, what does play VR games?" And you start looking around, and you see Quest, you see PSVR2, you see these. I mean, dude, when I say cheaper, right? I mean, so much cheaper. Suddenly, it makes PSVR 2 seem like a budget option, right? $550 compared to $3,500. That's the super budget option.
Well, again, I mean, it makes when there's more stuff out there, it's making people understand the value that PSVR 2 offers now a little bit better, and there's a little bit of. Like I said, this is why competition is good, is because you kind of see other examples and you see how good of a product the PSVR 2 actually is when you compare it to other things for what the purpose that it serves, for what it offers, potentially can offer. And same goes for the Quest as well, which actually has more features than the PSVR 2. And, but again, they're different. I do think they're competing, but they offer their strengths and weaknesses are definitely like seesawing here.
Yeah. Let's check out some of the comments from the chat. And yes, Emily Baxter, I do read the chat. Go fuck yourself. Emily Baxter, the cartoony witch game kit with the $2 tip says Apple sucks. Come at me, Apple. Go for it, Apple.
Good luck, Apple.
I think I'm on Apple's side. Jim Perona with the $2 tip says, aboard the tip train, welcome back. Thank you, JP. We appreciate you. Mark Pringlesleaf with the £2 says, I think Apple headset was designed by Yoko Ono. I mean, it is pretty sleek. I'll say that. Yoko Ono's an awesome artist. Don't believe the nonsense. She didn't break up the Beatles. She's actually pretty talented. Master Gamecatster with the $10 tip. She probably broke up the Beatles. Says, yeah, it's expensive, but is the box blue?
Asking the hard-hitting questions here, Master.
Yeah. They generally go for a lot of white. And in my PlayStation VR2 box was already very white when I bought it, so I don't need another one of those. Chrome Colossus with the $2 tip says, yay, Vision Pro. I mean, PSVR2. Woo! Yay, PSVR2. Dude, so... what's funny, man, is that like I was all set today before this happened to be like, man, Apple could very easily leave Sony in the dust right now, depending on how they market this thing, depending on what it's capable of, depending on how powerful it is, depending on if they have like certain developers backing them, and like it was really Apple's game to lose as far as that's concerned. And then Apple decided to just go this different market altogether, and so it was really interesting to see, there really isn't a huge competitor for PSVR2 right now. Like here we are. Apple finally put this thing out after 4 years of rumors, or they finally revealed it. And PSVR2 is still the headset to beat, which is pretty cool.
Well, I do think, again, talked about this last Thursday. I think Meta Quest 3 is going to be some great competition for PSVR2. And I think it's a great thing overall. I really, really do. I'm actually really happy. I hope it does well because, again, it's good. It's good. Competition is when there's competition, we win.
Distracted says the same people who shat on the price of the PSVR2 will praise Apple for this device. Apple gets away with a lot of shit, man. Like a lot of shit. Like people who buy Apple products don't even worry about the price of Apple products. All they care about is that it's the new cool tech from Apple. And I love my iPhone. I've been an iPhone guy since iPhone 3. I only upgrade every 4 years or so, right? Because other than that, it's ridiculous. I don't upgrade till I have to. But that's it for me. Like, I don't think there's any other Apple products in my house. And so I guess I'm not a hardcore Apple guy. That's for sure.
People may not be complaining about the price online, although I do see a lot of people saying like, no way I'm paying for that. They may not be complaining about it, but money talks, man. And I'm sure PSVR2 will outsell this thing like by quite a bit.
Yeah. Shades of Grey Matter says, Brian is right about this. His comment was way longer than that, but I just read the important part. I don't even know what it was in reference to, but thank you for saying I'm right about something. I don't know, AJ.
But this is a little bit different, though. I do think this is, like I said, this is not a... Well, I do think they're all kind of competing for this in this VR, AR space. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a different product that is meant to offer something completely different.
Yeah. I want to know how much that front-facing screen cost them, right? It's not just a square, right? It's like I also want to know. I want to know how much battery life that's occupying. I want to know how much that drove the price up because I feel like it's so unnecessary, but also at the same time really makes this such a unique product that I'm like I don't know, like that's my favorite thing about this is the front-facing screen. But it's essentially useless. It makes it comfortable for other people in the room, which is so weird to me because like when I've got the headset on, people are like, "Oh, it's so sleek looking. Oh, it's this or that." I don't give a fuck, man. As long as it's comfortable, and who knows if this thing is comfortable? It seems pretty lightweight, so it probably is. But still, it's the ski goggle.
I wish I had some snowboarding goggles still. I was looking. I wanted to look around, but I know I don't still have them. But man, I wish I had my fucking ski goggles.
But they took the ski goggle approach, and it's like I mean, so far
I think it looks nice.
It looks nice, but I've never worn anything like that that's been super duper comfortable. So I don't really care what it looks like. I don't care.
It's also weird with the wire and the battery, like you said.
Yeah,
It's
it's all very weird.
odd combination.
Yeah. Anyway,
but this is what people are going to really want. What a lot of people are going to say is, "Oh, I want sunglasses that have all the same capabilities," and then is like $200-$300. That's when people will finally be satisfied. Otherwise, they're never going to shut up.
And that's why this is important, because you have to start somewhere, right? And I think companies like Meta and like Apple understand that you've got to bring out the expensive tech to eventually get it down to more affordable tech. And I think that's a lot of people. I 100% agree with you. People will be so much happier when it's just a pair of glasses that you put on, and they're AR glasses like Google Glass. No, not Google Glass and Microsoft HoloLens. Was that what it was? Yeah.
Lens, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what people want when it comes to AR, right? They want stuff that they can wear all the time that like just augments Terminator 2 style everything they look at. Gives you some options and shit. I don't know, man. I don't there's got to be people out there that this is for. There's got to be people who are watching this and said, "Yes, this is for me." And I'm not one of those people. I'm not in the space where those people exist.
There's like 10 of them. Yeah.
10 total?
And 5 of them are YouTubers.
Okay, sure.
Or promoters.
Right. But you know, again, at the end of the day, if this legitimizes VR a little bit more, if this makes people more comfortable with the idea of putting something on your face to get a task done, or play a game or whatever, watch a TV show or watch a movie, like then we're making great strides. And I do think that this piece of technology specifically is very important. And especially since it's Apple, people will pay attention to it. So,
Truant Pixel LLC dropping some wisdom says the Apple headset is clearly not gaming focused, but in many ways it feels very much like an answer looking for a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
What up, Truant Pixel?
Emily Baxter, hashtag the cartoony witch game kit with $2 tips to Joko Ono sucks. That's why John kept her around. Man, John Lennon, one of the greatest people who ever fucking lived. Like, let's leave his legacy nice and clean around here. Look for the underground game cat with the €5 says, imagine people on live stream seeing the dread in your eyes. Okay, so that's interesting, right? Because this is a 3D model of your face. This is what people are seeing from the outside is not your actual face. It's not scanning your face or doing whatever, right? It's like you've created an avatar. I'm assuming there's eye tracking, so it's like blinking and looking where you're looking. But like, if you raise your eyebrows, like if you look scared, does it mimic that? Like, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I looked far enough into that, but I'd like to find out the answer to that. But that would be cool, Looper. I totally agree with you. Leo AI with the 27 Sekiro said, y'all forgot to read my previous comment. Peace. Oh, no.
Missed one from him.
I will look it up, Leo. I can do it through the YouTube app.
It's just a little bit up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It says he gave us 65 Sekiros, thank you. And it says, I'm afraid Sony with Ryan is shifting from VR and single player games for games as a service. Yoshida greenlit the PSVR 1 and 2. Horizon shows no dedication for their VR.
Oh, I totally saw this. How did I not copy and paste it? I'm sorry, Leo. I think this is a natural fear to have. Right, this is a natural fear to have because of the different games that they're showing, the different studios they're acquiring. Even Sony, has said very publicly how many games as a service they want to have by a certain year. But they've also said that they know their audience and they know what people are looking for, and what's made them the PlayStation that we all know and love are single player, narrative driven adventures, and so I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Yeah, maybe just they're going to scale it back a little bit. I mean, because there's also been people like Sean Layden and stuff that have said like you cannot sustain yourself on making these $200 million games every now and then. Like so, there could possibly be an issue running into that eventually. So, yeah. I think it all just comes down to marketing again. I think they could get away with doing whatever they want if they just had the right messaging and were a little bit more in tune with the player base, the fan base.
Yeah. Also, there's no guarantee that these things are going to succeed, right? I mean, who knows? Sony gamers might not want these games of service type games, and if they all fail, I think Sony's going to realize, like, hey, this is not the business model we can be going after. Like, you know, like, in the same ways NFTs and everything else has sort of come and gone, and be like, oh, people don't want this, and let the market decide for itself.
Jim Ryan gets fired, and everybody wins.
Oh man. Balrami of the Gamecat with €60 says, unless Sony brings back 3D movies, Apple headset wins any competition. Not even close. LOL. As you said, AJ, having like the 3D space, like a virtual movie theater to watch movies in, hang out with your friends, that kind of stuff is all going to be great.
I saw Big Screen posting about their headset, by the way.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey, guess what else plays movies and isn't $3,500?"
Have they announced a price on that?
I don't know. Isn't that out already or not?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
I mean, I have a hard time caring, but the only what I care about is you know, will Big Screen having their own headset prevent Big Screen from ever coming to PSVR2? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. These are things I just haven't been keeping up on.
I think they're full of shit because they've been saying it's been coming forever. It ships in Q3, 2023. Pre-order is $1,000.
Okay. No thanks. I mean, what? Dude, I've got a Quest 2 that has Big Screen on it. Like, what are we doing here? Right? Looper, the Underground Gamecat with the €5 says the 3D scan. Here we go. Looper knows this shit. The 3D scan is only needed to emulate the lower part of your face on FaceTime calls. The image on the headset comes from eye tracking cameras. Okay. Very interesting. All right, man. You know, I think we've talked about this enough.
Yeah. I was because our stream got cut off. It kind of went off the rails a little bit and got all a little messy. But
yeah,
but we talked about it at least.
We talked about it at least. All right, man. Well, then it's probably time to do a little 20 questions and get the show on the road. And by on the road, I mean get it over with. All right, man. Well, it's my turn. I'm hosting this one. That means I've got a PlayStation VR1 or PlayStation VR2 game in my head, and it's up to you guys.
In your head, Brian, yeah.
To figure out what game I'm thinking of with 20 yes or no questions. The harder part of this, of course, though, is that there's only 6 minutes on the clock and putting the clock up on the counter the way that Jeremy likes it. AJ, are you ready?
I guess so, man.
All right. Then on your mark, it does.
I'm ready because I got the cats.
Go,
all right.
Go.
Is this game on PSVR 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this game on PSVR 1?
No.
Only PSVR 2. Exclusive. Is it a puzzle game?
There are puzzles.
Is it sci-fi?
Yeah, it is sci-fi. What's 4?
I don't think I could beat my record. What's the record? 3 or 4?
Looper? Looper!
Is this game a sequel to a game that was on PSVR 1?
Sorta, yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, sorta. That's 5.
Does this game have stunning graphics?
No. That's 6.
I almost accidentally lost there. So wait, it is a sequel though. It is sci-fi.
As opposed to intentionally losing? Yeah, I almost accidentally lost. No one intentionally loses, AJ.
Oh, he said kind of. Oh, son of a bitch. I think NGI is right. Is this game supposed to be scary? Is this game supposed to be scary? Yeah.
No.
So it's not Cosmo Dread.
No,
Fuck.
no,
This
that's
is a bit
that's a
harder.
spiritual successor at best. Not, I wouldn't say.
Well, when
kind
I
of,
said it,
yeah, but
when I said it's a sequel, you said kinda.
oh no,
Yeah,
but
okay,
I'm trying not to mislead you. I said kind of to help you,
Okay.
not to mislead you.
Okay. All right. Puzzles, sci-fi, PSVR2 only. Well, at least not on PSVR1. Probably not Red Matter because it doesn't look super great. Did it come out within the last month?
Yes.
Yes, it did. Is there a teleporter? Can you teleport in this game?
Yes.
Is it Budget Cuts Ultimate?
10 questions. Yes, it is. It's sort of a sequel because it includes the first game and the second game.
Who is that? A lot of thank you, distracted. Thank you. Who's the first person that got it? Sorry, go ahead.
Neat Corporation came out June 1st of this month, so only 4 days ago, technically. Does not have good-looking graphics. Does not have ultra-realistic graphics.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Did you play this?
I was wanting to play the second one.
Yeah.
But they make you play the first one again.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone through the first one again.
I'll tell you, man,
because I just want to play the second one.
If you don't care about trophies, the way to play this game is by going into the cheats menu and turning on all the mods that you want to. Turn on the fastest locomotion setting that's not usually available within the game. Allow yourself to use the guns that your enemies drop. That it's so much fun just walking around this game with a fucking gun and just shooting everybody. I mean, it kills the challenge, but it's way more fun. There's homing. You can turn on homing attacks so that when you throw knives or scissors, they kind of like hone in right on the target. So yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. But that's the way to play it. And so other than that, I don't know. I didn't have that much fun with it.
Too bad. 6.5 I saw you gave it, which I think is about where I was with it.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting stuff coming soon, ain't there, Brian?
Exciting stuff coming soon over the next few weeks. Obviously, we should be getting a release date for Hubris soon. Pixel Ripped got a release date for a couple, 10 days from now, I think. 15th. Is it 15th? That's right. Also, let's see. Synapse is July 4th. VR Skater is coming soon.
Synapse.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
All sorts of good stuff. Like, this is
exciting games.
Very good stuff. And Break Stuff VR comes out tomorrow. Break Stuff VR, AJ. Break Stuff VR. I just finished my review.
Support indie devs, Brian.
I just finished my review, so as soon as the embargo lifts for that, which I believe is after the game comes out, that's all I'm going to say. That review will be up on the channel. Also, Journey to the Center of the Earth comes out this week as well for Walkaboot Mini Golf, and man, very excited to talk about that as well. Feel the magic, hear the roar. Thunder Game Cats are loose with the Australian $2 tip. Says, can't wait to try eating a pizza crust first. Who does that where? Is that a thing?
That was a thing in the 90s when the Casper movie came out, and they made stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
But I don't think that anyone actually did it.
Okay.
They tried to.
Do you know there's hot dog stuffed crust pizzas?
Ew.
These are the things I learn about when I hang out in voice chat on Discord. Like, I love hot dogs. I love stuffed crust. I love pizza. I don't know if I want a hot dog in my crust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out today. This is what a weird episode. I got to go back and figure out where the last stream cut off. If it's visible, like what the fuck happened exactly, and see if I can't stitch these things together. So thanks so much, Apple, for ruining our day. But thank you, everybody else, for being here and making our day so much better. Hopefully, we made your Monday a lot better. Make sure you go subscribe to AJ at PSVR Underground. Thank you to everybody who helps this channel run. All the moderators who I love so dearly. Jay Meow for getting this up on podcast services of your choice. Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, who's getting timestamps into the show each and every single day. It's going to be a little bit late. He's working overtime this week, so don't mind the late stamps. Also, everyone who supports the channel, everyone who supports the channel financially by being a member over here, or definitely Baxter with a $2 tip says cue the Yoko. Everybody who supports the channel financially, here at memberships, patreon.com/without parole games, everyone who tips over here, everyone who hangs out, shoots the shit, helps with 20 questions, and all of you who sit back and watch the show and don't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Can I cue the cat, AJ?
Cue the motherfucking cat, Brian, because I want to say fuck you, Apple, and hello, and see you on Wednesday to NGI. Thank you so much for participating a lot in the show today. It was nice to read your lovely comments. Aceville VR in the house tonight, asking if I'm going to be there playing the Sunday multiplayer D-Day, probably for a little bit, most likely. Heavy Brett, AI, or Al. We still haven't figured that out, have we? Love you as well, my friend. Steve, IRE, good to see you, man. Kato, 93, good to see you. GC13, the Diet Pepsi cat, not as good to see you. You should be working really hard right now. What are you doing being here? No, get back to work. GC, I love you, miss you, and thank you for the invite I didn't go to. Mark Pringles Leaf, Fat Boy Vernon, Guy said fist bump to you, Grumpy Williams, Xavier, good to see you, ET.2K9.now. It's still hard to say so many years later. SB in the house now. Nick the Game Cat. Oh, I'm still watching you, homie. Charlie Murphy. Good to see you, man. 4D, the four-dimensional Game Cat, says, what's in your head? In your head. Brian. Yeah. Fat Boy, Vernon, Alberto, my palm, the Kim, a gato,
So
cojones. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. I said that name in a long time. Vencer, guys, Emily Baxter, hashtag cartooning witch game kitten, says, yes, fuck Apple. I agree.
Oh my God.
I like my iPhone though.
Also, I just checked, and I got a follow-up email from YouTube, and they said yeah, Apple has blocked your they didn't just stop the live stream, they have now officially blocked the entire video. So what I'm gonna have to do is go in and take these two GAMESCAST and stitch them together and re-upload them. It's gonna be a fucking disaster. So
you can just black it, just don't show the shit on screen.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's all it'll take. Hopefully enough of the stream kept going before it was blocked to make it a cohesive stitch between the two episodes. But I'll do what I can.
You can edit. Now you can edit the GAMESCAST and just make us look a lot better than we actually are.
Ooh! Can I put some skin smoothing on and make myself
cut out
look 20
half the
years younger?
shit that I say that's stupid, and
that's all.
Yeah, you can de-age us.
That would take way too long, AJ. If I cut out everything we say that's stupid, this is never getting re-uploaded.
It's just like 5 minutes,
right?
Oh.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, AJ. Good night,
Peace
Cats.
out.
Good night, Yoko.
Good night, Brian.
We love you.